obviamente me importaba muchísimo el proyecto y al final no me quedé, se quedó Racher Zegler. Muchos saludos.
Paulie here on the Latino Slant. Thanks for coming on by and checking out this very special video. If you're not yet subscribed, make sure you are. And if you are, go ahead and tell 100 of your closest family members about the Latino Slant and have them subscribe now. There's an actress who just recently did a podcast in Mexico for Snow White. Mexican Mexican singer-actress Renata Vaca. This particular podcast is the one that everyone pulled from last week, to where even all these big channels pulled from the English translation but didn't get that Spanish that direct connection yet. Here we have it, man. What we're gonna do, guys, is we are going to listen in. It's in Spanish. We'll happy to translate for you. Take in the actress Renata. I want you to look at that. Look, I just want you to take her in. So we're going to touch on that. Then we're going to see, ultimately, would it have mattered if it was a different actor than Racher Zegler at the end of the day?
Otros países, sobre todo en México, somos vecinos de Estados Unidos, entren, ¿no? O sea, ya tenemos ejemplos ahí como Melissa Barrera, o sea, que quizá ya no solo como Isa González o Salma Hayek, sino que ya, y muchas mujeres, además, también Diego Calva, con quien también trabajar.
Okay, so Gabby's saying that there's a lot of actors coming out of Mexico hitting Hollywood, correct?
Right.
Melissa Barrera in Scream, Isa Gonzalez in Ambulance.
Right, Dust Till Dawn.
Dust Till Dawn.
Yeah.
So a lot of these really there's a whole new generation of amazing Mexican actresses.
Sí. Pero creo que es un gran momento porque ellos también están empezando a buscar talentos afuera.
Claro.
Para integrarlos y no necesariamente con el papel, de pronto ahorita sí en México, ¿no? Pero digo, hiciste el casting en Blancanieves, no sé, ¿era para Blancanieves?
Para Blancanieves, sí, tal cual.
Wow.
Sí.
Okay, go ahead, Fletcher.
So basically saying that, a lot of the Hollywood is coming into Mexico and finally starting to realize that there's a lot of talent. So she's saying that she was doing a lot of casting and wanted to know, you did also do the one for Snow White, right? And she's like, yeah, we did do one for Snow White.
Right. Okay, let's go on.
Tengo el mail, ahí tengo el mail guardado así. Ay, hubiera sido.
Me cae el Racher Zegler, pero tú más.
Gracias.
Aparte se metió todo en ese tema de que era latina y todos de que no es latina.
Exacto.
Pero querían a alguien latino.
Querían a alguien latino. Sí, o sea, a mí me
Go ahead.
So she's a little bit throwing a little bit of shade to Racher Zegler because she's kind of saying, so Racher Zegler is Latina, yeah, but you're more Latina,
¿Cómo es un casting para Blancanieves?
Ay, la. Sí, mira, justo tenías que cantar, entonces canté la de I've been staring at, la de Moana, la de How Far I'll Go. Sí, bueno, nada, entonces como que podías escoger entre alguna canción de La Sirenita o la de Moana o así, entonces yo dije, pues me voy a echar la de Moana,
princesa.
¿no? Exacto, una princesa. Entonces grabé.
All right, Fletcher, what's your take on this?
So basically she's saying, what is it to be like in the casting and stuff? And she said, well, they did have me sing, and she was like realizing that she did, which songs am I going to do? So I think she went with a song from Moana. She's likable. That's the thing. She's very likable. She's very bubbly. She has that, what we call it. My parents always used to say when actors and stuff would come off really well, they would say she has an ángel, which is like an angel. They're able to portray this innocence that comes. I mean, just look at her face. She has this little innocent face. She's very likable. She gets under people's skin right away in a good way. Like, I like her. So it's a complete 180.
It almost is. And the humor is very
she's very girl next door.
It's not snarky.
No,
it's not.
No.
It's not dark.
No.
So let's because this is the source of all these, big channels, just mowing down on Rachel because look. So the thing was, that they took this, right? They took this and they said, listen, it's racist that they were just looking for a Latino because this proves that they just wanted a Latino for the role. That's racist. If they're saying open to any ethnicities, but with the final four, 3 of the 4 were Latina, the other 4th was African American. Is that racist? I mean, that's their vision. That's what they want. Is that racist? I think when you throw that R word around, you throw it around too much, man. It loses its power. It's, you know, and that was my argument with Friday Night Tights and Nerdrotic and all those homeboys. That's not racist. They might have been ignorant and misguided, but I don't see it as being racist.
Primero eso, que fue como que lo más fácil, porque dije, bueno, ya, es eso, ya lo grabé. Y luego me acuerdo que mi novio de ese momento, que también es actor, no estaba, o sea, estaba filmando algo fuera, entonces yo dije, puta, ¿quién me va a ayudar, no? Entonces dije, voy a grabar lo primero, que es casi un monólogo, lo grabo yo solita, tal. Luego le pedí ayuda a mi mamá, no, al exnovio de mi mamá, le dije, Alex, ayúdame, por favor, no sé qué, y Alex, y ahora levantes, me dio réplica, tal. El caso es que tenía ya las escenas, pero el monólogo, entonces se lo mando a mi exnovio, ¿no? A Andrés, le digo como, oye, te mando esto, a ver cómo lo ves. Y me dice, me encanta, me dice, siento que yo volvería a hacer el monólogo, o sea, vuélvelo a grabar, porque siento que necesitas más energía Disney. Yo lo hice como en otro tono, un poquito, un tono más abajo que el que...
So she's basically saying, guys, that she had the help of her boyfriend at the time, giving notes on her monologue, and that your energy, your tone wasn't that Disney tone. Is that my understanding that correctly? In
a way, yeah. She actually asked her boyfriend to go for it, and he wasn't much help. So she asked her mom's boyfriend about it, and she's like, "You're not giving it the Disney sound." She was singing in a different way, so she wanted her to do more of a Disney princess sound, I guess.
Gotcha. But again, fully animated in how she's telling the story, almost taking the piss out of her own self.
Yes.
That's what I love. Let's face it, guys. You know, a lot of you know, people in front of the camera just kind of take themselves a little too seriously. I'm not, you know, we're not dumb here.
Y creía que era el
tono Disney.
El tono Disney, exacto. Entonces lo vuelvo a hacer y me dice, ya, yo creo que está chido. Entonces lo mando el self-tape y de pronto a la semana me dice mi manager, oye, y aparte él me lo dice bien fresco, ¿no? Así como que yo estaba hablando con él y yo, no, pues sí, ya quiero chambear. Me dice, oye, por cierto, me pidieron tu currículum de Snow White. Y yo, así ya, así, con la presión, ¿no? Abajo yo, bueno.
She's basically saying she sent in the tape after it sounded very Disney. And then, you know, she did get a call back and she was like, you know, surprised.
I see so much difference from this woman compared to Racher Zegler. What do you think, Fletcher?
No, I agree. You know, she's bubbly, she's fun, she's able to handle a conversation with self-deprecating humor, something I don't think Ms. Zegler would be able to handle. And she is very upbeat and fun, very chilanga. You know, they have this, you know, women from Mexico City.
Yeah, chilanga. You know, women from Mexico City are very unfiltered, outspoken, charismatic, high-end, you know, great energy, real, authentic. They're some of my favorite people from Mexico City.
Pasa un mes y te digo que tengo el mail y lo quiero enmarcar. Ahí sí, no, del mail oficial diciendo, hola, queremos ver a Renata en callback para Snow White, ya estamos con neta 2 personas, casi, vamos a hacer el callback. Así,
right. So, go ahead.
So she was in the final 2, basically, she's saying. She's you know, she's all like belting over like the nerves and stuff because she's getting all this information, you know?
Sí, no, literal, entonces vamos a hacer el callback con el director, tal día, no sé qué. Y yo, bueno, va. Es que lo hago, me cayó increíble el director, que ahorita se me acaba de olvidar el nombre, pero sé que es el de 500 días con ella, creo que es Mark Webber.
Mark Webber,
sí.
Mark Webber, sí.
Bien. Mark, estaban también algunos de los productores, estaban los directores de casting, no me acuerdo cómo se llama, bueno, estaban ahí.
She's saying, you know, she's very nervous because she's finally, you know, basically it's her and somebody else. You know, they're the final 2. Obviously, she doesn't know who the other person is at the time. And she's basically saying the nerves and everything got to her, but it was really exciting because she felt she nailed everything.
Y él atrás así con su póster de Spider-Man que había dirigido a Emma Stone y a Andrew Garfield. Y yo así de... hola, señor director, ¿cómo está? Y así su hija o su hijo llorando atrás y le dice, oh, I'm sorry.
Bro, I gotta tell you, man, seeing this, and I've seen her other interviews, she's absolutely captivating.
Yeah, it's funny because she's like, I had my Spider-Man poster behind me, and I'm trying to sound all serious.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
My baby's crying, but no sé qué, y así como, bueno, ok. Si empezamos el casting, lo hice, la neta, me dio algunas, o sea, hicimos la primera escena, me dio como algunas acotaciones y que uno siente cuando un director es chido, ¿sabes? Como que lo que me dijo fue muy puntual, pero tal. Los hice y me dijeron, oye, pues un gusto conocerte, Renata, qué chido tu trabajo, no sé qué, y yo así de, bueno.
Qué chido tu trabajo.
So basically saying
chido
that
is like it's cool, It's
yeah,
like, your thing is cool.
And she's saying Mark Webber is complimenting her on her audition.
Complimenting, and she felt that he had a connection with
They
him.
had a connection,
like
right?
They had a connection, and they were really vibing off each other. And he only gave her a couple of notes, meaning like he thought she nailed it. Maybe only needed a couple notes. She adjusted, and then it was great. Which begs the question: did somebody else, kind of know somebody else or said something else to get Miss Zegler? And if the director and her had such a vibe.
And look, Rachel's at this point. Rachel's coming off of West Side Story. Renata is only known for X Factor, being in a band,
right?
And Mexico, So, but listen, this is very interesting. Because of this woman's charm and personality, would we be more open to a new iteration of Snow White? Because, of all the noise that Rachel brought with her in her interviews, it might not even matter because it's such a different iteration of Snow White. Don't matter who's in the lead.
Y una parte de mí decía, mira, sé que para una decisión de este tamaño, o sea, para escogerme como Snow White de Disney, mi carrera en Estados Unidos, tenía una peli que había sido una ópera prima, que todavía no se estrena, pero bueno, es una ópera prima de un director que es de la India, pero creció en Estados Unidos, etcétera, se llama Dreamer, pero no se había estrenado, o sea, como que justo es eso, o sea, como que siento que me faltaban pasos, ladrillos que tener para esa decisión. Para ellos de escogerme como eso, además de que Racher Zegler es muy talentosa, ¿no? Además, pero pues, o sea, como que fue muy loco y la experiencia desde ya para mí fue como de, güey, no manches, o sea, me dirigió Mark Webber, aunque sea un casting, me dirigió.
She's basically saying that she thinks what happened is she was about to be coming out with another movie directed by an Indian director, that might have helped her since it would have shown that she would have had more stuff out there. That's more international stuff. Yeah.
Right. At this point, she was saying she had nothing to show.
Right. And he says, I'm really grateful. She gives props to Zegler. She says, oh, she's great. But he also says, hey, I'm super happy. I'm stoked that I got to be directed, even if it is for a casting by the director. So, I mean, gratitude. So it's crazy. Insane, right?
Para mí es de las cosas que me guardo y que ojalá luego Disney quiera que yo sea una princesa en algún momento.
Claro.
Probably wouldn't matter, and because, she's going into the evil corporation of Disney. But I don't know. I think it would have mattered because you're looking at somebody who's very likable, very
likable.
Very likable. And that's the thing. If
very natural. Natural.
Yeah, even if they're like slightly controlled, they are not controlled. So some of her would have, even if she had a script saying, hey, you should say this about the movie, fun things would have come out of her mouth.
But congratulations, Gabby Mesa, for this interview, man. But Gabby's channel's huge.
I think everybody likes her. I think it's the overall consensus that if we have a girl that's likable, that's fun, that's bubbly, it just makes everything, go away. I think that's the main thing. You have somebody that's able to command a room with just bubbliness.
Well, when we said this before, charm goes a long way.